This is Arts Alive. I'm Lynda Phillippi, and my guest today is Tracy White. Tracy has been in McMinnville a long time, as have I. And so we actually probably started talking about this show several years ago, right? Yeah. Anyway, here we are. Now, what's new is that Tracy still works at the Merry Artist, and the Merry Artist employs nothing but artists. And so that's wonderful. And but you're going to start teaching some classes.
Yeah, I've taught classes over the years, but I took a little break, partially because of COVID.
Yeah, we all did that,
yeah,
right?
Right. And I'm just opening it back up in January to some watercolor, some mixed media, some teenage classes.
Oh, fun.
And then a new one that I'm calling Space to Thrive.
Okay. Well, that all sounds great, but I want to talk about Space to Thrive.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. So I've been doing art most of my life, and it's been, I think it's been a great just dive into, not just for creativity and fun, but through hard times, it's been a great way to heal. And it's of COVID, I was kind of thinking, man, how can I make that work for other people as well? So I started taking classes in coaching.
Oh, wow.
Not like baseball coaching, but coaching, like life coaching, and
Sure.
wondered how I could apply it to the arts. So have kind of mingled a little hybrid class together that uses art and the questions that you would use in typical coaching to just guide people through areas of their lives that may be traumatic or stressful, or just people who just want to come in and create. They don't need any expertise. They don't need to have ever touched anything in the arts to do it. So it's pretty low stress.
people who are curious, I know, I can hear somebody saying, "Oh, I'm not an artist. Oh, I have no talent.
Right.
Oh, this, oh, that, all the reasons why not."
Right.
But yet curious.
Yes.
And kind of wondering what would that be. So now, will these be one-on-one sessions, or will they be small groups?
Great question. So I can take one-on-one, but right now I'm offering group sessions to let people get their feet wet.
Sure.
And just see what it's all about.
Mm-hmm.
And curiosity is needed. The ability just to sit with themselves, and they don't even have to think. It's just playing with color.
Mm-hmm. So now when they come in, will they need to bring anything, or you'll provide all the materials?
Right. Everything will be provided. And I'm trying to keep it as low cost as possible. Like I said, this is brand new to me. If it's something that I see a need for in the community, I've thought about going after nonprofit so that I can do it that way.
Oh, that's a good idea. Sure.
Yeah, because a lot of people that are in high stress situations don't always have the funds to do something like that.
Oh, that's a good idea. Like, I can even see it as sort of like a team building type thing, where
Absolutely.
you get around and so what you're dealing with is not necessarily a huge, childhood wound,
Right.
but maybe it's just a workplace drama that we can't seem to move through, an impasse,
Absolutely.
and we can art it out.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it heals a multitude of things. So
I think that's wonderful. And so you started taking these coaching classes during COVID.
I did.
Well, look at you being all productive.
It was kind of perfect because the school model, they couldn't meet in person, so they had to offer them online, which I was, when I was looking at things, I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this because I work full time. But they offered them on evenings. I could just hammer them out in the evenings, and it was perfect.
That's a wonderful thing.
Yeah.
So now, were you able to work through COVID? Was the store open?
The store was open. We never closed. So even when it was closed to the public, we were online. We're about 80% online.
Oh.
So actually my work schedule increased. I was only 3 days a week and now I'm full time. So
Well, you know what? I guess
Yeah.
that's really true because I mean,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, so many people had probably more time on their hands than they had
Right.
before. So,
which is also part of how all of this developed with the coaching and mixing the art, because we had so many people coming in just needing something to do. They were
Netflix down.
They were, and even if they were working from home, they were just stressed in their jobs. We were seeing so many people that had never touched any type of creativity at all coming in going, I have to do something. So.
Well, you know what? It's lower cal than the sourdough
It is.
and all the baking. So many people turn to baking.
You're right.
And I, you know, I originally I bought all those baking supplies.
Did you?
And then I looked at them and I was like, I live alone.
Oh,
This is going to be
that's
dumb.
bad.
So I didn't bake. I
Yeah.
gave all my supplies away. But I think this is wonderful. So, tell me, how did you originally start doing art?
I was born.
Okay.
I started as young as I can remember.
Okay.
So my parents just, fed me art tools most of my life. And I've always been in some area of the arts. I have about 17 years of professional photography under my belt.
Wow.
And that's what I came out of before I moved here.
Mm-hmm.
And then I moved back into the fine arts, which is what I went to school for. And here I am.
Where are you from originally?
The Midwest,
Are
so
you?
Wisconsin and Iowa.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So you have a lot of like prairie photos?
No, I actually was a portrait photographer most of it, and the rest of it I did photojournalism.
Okay.
So, yeah.
I mean, like, portrait, like in a studio?
Yes, correct. I owned a studio.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, thank you.
And do you still incorporate any photography in your work?
I
in your
do.
Fine artwork?
I do. Yeah, I do all of my own shooting for paintings, big paintings that I do. And then I still dabble in photography. I just do it for people I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, this is really kind of an amazing thing. So I mean, for you, the pandemic kind of expanded your world quite a bit.
It did. It really did.
That's great.
Really kind of dug deep to go, what do I want to do and what's going to be fulfilling for me? I mean, I already have art. Art is my love, but art was my entire world. I go to the Merry Artist, then I go home and I do art, and weekends I do art, and most of my friends are artists. So I wanted to do just something a little bit different. I have a history with some traumatic events that I was able to dabble with art and healing through the Henderson House. We would just do creative little nights around a table, and sometimes it was just coloring, and sometimes it was a canvas, and then we talked. And it was amazing how much just mindlessly doing something while you talked to somebody would open up your world. And I had a lot of healing in that. I couldn't journal during that time. I didn't want to, even though I was told, hey, journal. So I started creating in a book and just making a mad mess, and it freed a lot for me. So,
Wow. And so now you're going to be able to help other people.
I hope so.
Maybe come through. I'll tell you that as long as I've done this, and as many artists as I've spoken with, so many people have said that if it wasn't for art, I'd probably be dead.
Yeah.
Because of different traumas, or not every kid is academic.
Right.
And how, like, being unsuccessful, quote unquote, unsuccessful in school is really, I mean, hopefully it's not as bad as it used to be, but the medium of art, whatever it is, creativity, it just allows them to kind of break through and to feel successful and access that piece of themselves that's always been in there.
Absolutely. And I think about this class, I don't want anyone to think that it's just for a trauma survivor. It's just what fueled me. It's for anyone.
I mean, even if you're just thinking, hey, that sounds like fun.
Yep. Just want to play.
A safe, like you said, a safe space to kind of play and explore.
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful. Now, when will your classes start?
Yeah, they're starting after the 1st of January. I can't believe we're at the end of the year already.
Gosh, it's fun. And so if I want to take this class, how would I get in touch with you?
Sure. There's a few ways. I work at the Merry Artist. Anyone is welcome to pop in. They'll give them my information. I have business cards down there. Otherwise, they can get a hold of me on Facebook through White House Think Tank.
Oh,
or
White House Think Tank.
Yes, name of my business.
Oh, okay.
I'm also on Instagram.
Oh, because White.
Yes, my last name is White.
Tracy
yes.
White. Okay.
So, and I live in a White House. But
do you?
I do. So, anyhow, a White House Think Tank on Instagram or Facebook are other ways to get a hold of me, for sure.
Okay. And then, in addition to that sort of group space thing that you're doing, you're also going to do just some straight art classes.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about those.
Watercolor is always on my docket. I have many students that are kind of waiting for me to open that back up. Watercolor is my main medium, but since I work at the art store, I have access to everything, so we play with everything. So watercolor classes, I have a mixed media class for adults coming up. I have a mixed media class for teens coming up, and with those mixed media we just tackle like one media per month, so they can try a lot of different things and decide what their niche is. So,
it's like when I this is so funny, random memory. Did you ever do this when you were like a little kid in school? You had the board, like a piece of cardboard or something, and you're supposed to bring in all these different objects.
Oh, yeah.
And then you glue them down, and then you put the tin foil over it, and then you put black paint over it.
Absolutely.
And it made something, was that mixed media? I don't know. That's what jumped
Kind of.
into my mind.
Yes.
That's about the extent
mixed media.
of my art education, to tell you the truth. So, yes.
Yeah, but that's fun. I bet you had fun doing it.
It was fun, sure, yeah. Okay, this will be great.
Good.
And then, so you're going to be teaching like 1, 2, 3, at least 3 or 4 classes.
Yes, to start out with that first month, and then I'll just build on that.
Now, are these weekly classes?
They will be weekly. Yeah, I do have some that will hit on weekends as well. So since I work full time, I work Monday through Friday. I teach in the evenings, and I teach on weekends.
Wow,
so.
that's great. I'm surprised you get Saturdays off.
Yes, I know.
Hey.
I'm senior employee. That's the only reason.
I see. Okay, you've been there a long time.
Yeah.
Okay,
I have.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, then I think Mike is putting up some images of your work, or maybe he already has run through them, and I missed them.
That's
because
okay.
I was not looking. But let's talk about that. So watercolor was your first love. When you're doing larger...
It wasn't my first love, but it is my main medium.
Okay, let's talk about your first love.
Oh, goodness. Photography. Yeah, photography. But that's built a lot for me, the photography has. So I think that has taught me so much about lighting and composition, and it just all kind of builds on that. That is my first love in art. And then, I don't know, I think watercolor would probably be a hard second. It was really difficult to get into. It didn't come easily. It was a big challenge, but I like a challenge.
Like,
so.
I bet your first ones were just like this big blobs of wet color on the paper.
Years ago. Yes, years ago. And so I let it alone for about 20 years and came back to it just 10 years ago. So.
Just see if it had learned its lesson.
And it did. No. I think I had a better brain for it at that point.
I'm going to give you something to think about for 20 years.
Yes, right?
Oh,
put you in the corner.
Right?
Yeah.
Wow, Tracy, well, this has been an amazing interview to get to know you a little bit more and find out what you're doing. And I think your classes sound incredible.
Thank you.
And you were way much more productive during COVID than I was. I'm going to tell you. I feel like I just sort of just lounged and floated. It was great. It actually was great.
Well, thank you.
I'm looking forward to speaking with you again soon.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.